What I'm going to ask you about is we're going to talk about marriage right now, which is kind of a fun thing. Do you know what marriage is? You know what we're talking about today? We're going to talk about marriage. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What's marriage?
I don't know.
I don't really know what I think about it right now because I haven't really experienced it yet, but I heard it feels nice.
It just seems like a human custom or something like that.
You walk down the aisle and then you walk back and you get to toss the flowers and you get to catch them.
There was 2 cakes. One was white and the other one was a brown fish. It was at somebody's house, at my grandma's house, and there's lots of food.
Was it fun?
But you had to be quiet.
Mostly it's just a male and a female who have come together to create life.
When you love a person and you really trust them and you want to marry them so you can have kids or get a dog or just grow old together.
It's a choice that people can make if they want, and it's for anyone that has that courage to take it, and everyone should be allowed because it's a beautiful thing.
I always thought growing up, watching movies, that the perfect life included marriage.
I'm not gonna feel any pressure to, but if I do find someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with, I probably will, because I personally would want to feel that, bond of, something.
I've always wanted to fall in love. That's just, it just seems like a great experience in your life and a great thing to, spend the rest of your life with someone.
Nope, I'm not getting married to anybody. If I was gonna have kids, yes, I would like to get married because I'd probably need help taking care of them. Yeah.
It's pretty standard. Like a lot of kids say, no, I don't want to kiss a girl. Well, they will eventually. That's when the testosterones kick in.
I want a guy that's nice to me, doesn't abuse me, and take care of me and our kids and buy stuff for them.
I like to marry someone who's adventurous and doesn't really care what other people think about them. And they have to be really cute too.
I think that it's I don't know where you would draw the line. I'm sorry, you can't get married to the person you love, but I think that, the definition of marriage has always been between a man and a woman coming together who love each other.
Oh, way back when in old America, life was plain, no esoterica. Even Adam was Sir and Madam Jill dated Jack. Up was up, white was white, and black was colored. Father went to work, Ma stayed home and dusted. Presidents, police, and priests could be trusted. We all dreamed, or so it seemed, a straight white picket fence. But this pretty fence only made sense in a past perfect tense. Though things have changed in more ways than we can name, there's one thing that will always remain the same. The dance you dance with sighs and glances, you dance to enhance your chances of advancing new romances, whether you're the in or out laws. You swear to learn from past mistakes and date a snake that takes the cake. Get Yes, your heart is bound to break, whether you're the in or out laws. Whether you're in or out of love. Indisposed or in pursuit, in despair or in cahoot, in Brooks Brothers or birthday suits, everyone plays the game. Out of the loop, out of the mark, out of the closet or in the dark. On the farm or in Central Park, love's the same, so goes the game. Whether it's limp or highly excited, happy ever after or unrequited, hearts are trump, don't try to fight it, whether you're the in or out laws. You dance alone, waltz down the aisle, 2 by 2 or single file. Love makes you sick, love makes you smile, whether you're the in or out laws. So whether you're wed or living in sin, faking it or taking it on the chin, throwing in the towel or playing the wind, up or down, in or out, there's nothing else I'm talking about. Might get saved, could get burned, but as far as love's concerned, everyone's an in or out law. Everyone's an in or out law. We're all in or out laws.
I'm Virgil Wright, and I'm the wife of Enid.
The husband.
I'm the husband of Enid, my wife, really.
I'm Laramie Holloman, and I'm her wife. And I'm Aubrey Holloman, and I'm her wife.
I grew up in Tacoma with a sort of Leave It to Beaver family. I had a mom and dad, happily married, 5 children in the family. I am the oldest of 5. My parents were really happy together, and they always got along and were affectionate with each other and loving. Although I know they must have had fights, I never saw them arguing or fighting. Only one time when my mom went in the bedroom in tears.
My parents had a pretty rocky relationship, so my first memories of a sample of what adult relationships looked like was not a real happy thing.
My grandmother loved me to pieces, and she taught me everything. She still couldn't talk about my grandfather and their relationship because she would get tears. They had a great love affair.
I grew up in a very volatile and violent home. Both my parents were alcoholics. My parents fought all the time, and so my sister and I used to try to stay away as far as possible in our bedrooms, outside. We tried to be invisible.
To me, they were just my mom and my dad. I didn't think of them as a couple necessarily, other than when they fought, it seemed like that's what couples do. And they did fight a lot when I was younger. I actually kind of thought that I would marry my cousin because I thought you should be with somebody that you like, and I really liked him. I didn't really equate marriage with romance and lovemaking and kissing or anything like that. It was just, we're gonna grow up and be married because we like each other.
I expected that I would marry a beautiful woman and have a couple kids, have a house and a great job, and change and break the cycle of how I grew up.
Watching my parents as growing up, it was quite interesting to me. The 2 things I remember for that relationship. One is they were really good friends. And even though they fought, and were pretty unskilled at how they fought, they really liked each other. Long into the night, my bedroom was next to theirs, I could hear them laughing, and there were times as I got older I would beat on the wall to tell them to quit chattering in bed and laughing so much, and I needed to get to sleep. The image I'll remember, I was probably maybe 7, somewhere in there, and I remember we'd always have breakfast together, and then my dad would get up and leave, and my mom would always get up and go say goodbye to him, kiss him goodbye at the door. So on this particular morning, I remember my dad had left and my mom jumps up like there was some big emergency and she runs out the door after him. So I get up and I look out the kitchen window and to see this scene unfold, and my dad is pulling out of the driveway. My mom's flagged him down, and I see them talking, quite animated. And then my dad gets out of the truck and he gets in his wallet and he opens it really slowly and he takes out a bill and then he like hands it to my mom, and like he was going to give her the bill, and then he pulls it back and still does. And I just see that moment where I thought, I will never let myself be in a relationship that is that dependent. You know, and you know, you didn't have to give me at 7 or 8 a primer on the economic enslavement of women who didn't work. I mean, I could see that sort of indignity right there, even though I'm sure my dad meant it in a humorous way, because he was never selfish like that. But just that image, almost framed by that kitchen window, that shaped my life.
My parents were married for 50 years. Mother was a homemaker. During the Depression, she had 5 of us. I was the last, but they fought. He beat her up constantly, even though they were together over 50 years. He'd just get drunk and she put up with it, because that's what women did in those days. You know, they buried the children and kept the house, and if father came home drunk and decided to take his aggressions out on her, he did, and they accepted it. I know as kids we tried to get her to leave and she would not do it. I would say from the age of 5, I knew I was different than other people. My feelings were different. I knew I was gay, but I didn't know that was the term for it. When my father got drunk, he picked on me because I was the baby of the family. And so he would beat me, and life was just terrible, and I wanted to get away from that. So I wanted to make my life better than what I was actually witnessing through my father. I wanted to see if I could get in a relationship with somebody and settle down and make something and donate to the world rather than hurt somebody like my father did. In December 1949, David came in the restaurant, and I gave him the full service, the smile and everything. Of course, I was young too, you know. And so when he left a big tip, so I knew I made my mark. And then he kept coming back, and he'd sit at my station to make sure that I would wait on him. So that one day it started to snow when he was there, and he said, "Where do you live?" And I said, "Up on the hill." He said, "I've got my car around the corner. It's snowing. Maybe I should drive you home." And that was our first contact right then. It wasn't sexual. That's why I knew it was the real thing. And that was the beginning. I'm a product of the Depression, so I spent a lot of my time in the movie houses in Seattle. And always fell in love with the leading man. So I knew that someday that's what's going to happen to me. Which it did, so. And he was a leading man. We moved into the apartment the first week of April of 1949. He died the first week of April in 1999, exactly 50 years later.